My best friend is absolutely convinced that her boyfriend is cheating on her. With me. I've known my best friend for years, and even though she has so many amazing qualities, one of her fatal flaws is that she literally doesn't trust anyone. And this isn't totally her fault because she's had a lot of guys in the past cheat on her, which has created really severe trust issues, but my girl has not worked through those. She needs to go to therapy, but hasn't done that. Now, I was always the single one in our friendship, and she always had a boyfriend. So when I started dating my boyfriend and she was single, she was not happy about it. And she was constantly getting upset with me for not spending enough time with her or for always choosing my boyfriend over her. And it was just getting so stressful because I felt like I could never win. Then one day I had the most genius idea that would solve everybody's issues. My boyfriend's best friend is literally one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And also he was really looking for something serious. I set them on a blind date and it went super well. And they started dating like a month after meeting. Everything was perfect. We were double dating. They were getting along. I thought that all of the problems were in the past, but no, I was wrong. There were way more serious issues to come. So she slowly starts to trust this guy and I'm like, you know what? She just needed a good, trustworthy man to get over those trust issues. No, she needed therapy. Everything fell apart last week when my best friend showed up unannounced at my front door in absolute waterworks. I was like, girl, what is going on? And she was like, he's cheating on me. I was shocked. This man, he would be the last man in the world I would ever think would cheat. He is just the biggest golden retriever energy in the world. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. How did you find out? Did you read text messages? Did you walk in on him? Like, girl, what happened? And she's like, no, I found a hair tie in his car. I was like, oh, rewind. So are you saying that he admitted this hair tie belonged to a girl he was cheating with? Because a hair tie in a car can mean a lot of things. You don't even know how long that hair tie has been in the car. She looked at me like I was the dumbest person in the world. She's like, Kels, obviously cheaters aren't going to ever admit that they're cheating. He's trying to tell me that the hair tie belonged to his sister. I was like, okay. I mean, his sister and him live like 5 minutes away from each other and spend a ton of time together. So that is the most logical solution. I was like, listen, I know that a lot of guys in the past have done you wrong and cheated on you, but I really do think he's a good guy. I don't think he would do that. Also, y'all spend so much time together and he's always working. So when would he even have time to cheat on you? Really, I think the most realistic scenario here is that it was his sister's hair tie. But as I'm talking, I see her look down to my wrist and all the color drains from her face. I'm like, what's wrong? She just points and goes, that hair tie on your wrist. I was like, this hair tie? She's like, yeah, that was the exact type of hair tie I saw in his car. I was like, yeah, I mean, it's a blonde hair tie. It's like the most basic hair tie that every blonde girl has. And his sister's blonde. So I'm sure it is the same hair tie. I think a lot of people own this hair tie. I go to one of my friends' houses and I need to borrow a hair tie and she's blonde. This is the hair tie they give me. The blonde girls get it. And she starts losing it on me. She's like, why were you in his car? Like, why are you lying to me? I was like, okay, I've been in his car one time over a year ago. I was in the back seat. My boyfriend was in the passenger seat. I haven't been in it recently. I didn't leave that hair tie. I don't know what to tell you. And she looks back down at my hands and she starts losing it even more. She's like, what is that ring you're wearing? I've never seen it before. And I look, I'm like, what? Oh, it's the dairy ring that my boyfriend just bought me last week for our anniversary. If you don't know what a dairy ring is, the concept is absolutely wild. But whenever you're buying it, you have to show proof of ID and you can only buy a dairy ring for one person in your entire life. So for our anniversary, my boyfriend got me one to show his commitment to me and that he would never be able to buy one for any other girl ever. It was very cute. And my best friend starts jumping to the most insane conclusions. She's like, no, the timing is way too coincidental and my boyfriend must have bought you that ring to show his commitment to you. I was like, I don't know what to say. I'm sure that my boyfriend can show you the receipt that he bought it. She's like, no, I don't trust it. Those things can be faked. He could have photoshopped it. I was like, how many Photoshop skills do you think my finance bro boyfriend has? My best friend told me that the only way that her boyfriend can prove that he's not cheating on her with me is to buy her a dairy ring. Because she said that whenever he goes and tries to buy a ring for her, he won't be able to because he's already bought one for me. I was like, you know what? That sounds like an amazing idea. I think you should do that because obviously he did not buy me the ring. And silly me, I think this is all just going to blow over by the next day. But I was wrong because my best friend calls me and goes, I knew you were lying. My boyfriend's refusing to buy me a dairy ring, and he's telling me it's because it's too soon or that he feels like he's being manipulated in this situation, but I know the real reason is because he won't be able to buy me one because he already bought one from you. I immediately I can't do that. I hang up because there's nothing I'm going to say to her to make her change her mind, and I immediately call her boyfriend, and I was like, okay, what's good? Can you just go buy her the ring, please? Please? And he's like, no. I was like, have you already bought a ring for somebody in the past and that's what's happening? He's like, no, I've never bought a dairy ring for anybody before, but I don't want to feel like I'm being forced into this because of her insecurities and her trust issues. I was like, I get it. I get your perspective. It's very fair. But this is really impacting me right now. And I need you to do me a favor. I need you to just do this so that she can get over this. I have absolutely zero idea what to do in this situation because my best friend's boyfriend is absolutely refusing to buy this ring. And my best friend hates me right now, is going around to all of our mutual friends, telling them that I'm cheating with her boyfriend. Truly, I'm lost for what to do because there's an easy solution and I just need to find a way to convince this man to get that ring.
My husband decided to give me a warning tap, all because I would not help him find his phone. So my husband and I have been together for 3 years, married for 1. Now last week, while I was in the shower, apparently my husband lost his phone somewhere. So he was asking me right after I got out if I've seen his phone, but he was very pissed off, like he was mad. I obviously told my husband, I have not seen your phone, give me a minute and I'll help you. I need to get dressed, I just got out of the shower. And so what he was doing is basically standing in the doorway and looking behind the door to see if I was going to walk by. And when I was trying to get by him, he wouldn't move, so I had to tell him, hello, can you move? He wasn't happy with what I said. He kept telling me, hurry the fuck up, like go look for my phone. I told him it's not my fault. I am not going to go look for your phone right now, right this second. I need to go get dressed. It's not my fault that you lost your phone. He wasn't happy with my response apparently, so he decided to, yeah. And he called that a warning tap because of my attitude. Obviously, I left right there and then. I called my mom, I went to go stay with her, and then the next day, my brother decided to take me to go get some of my things, and of course, my husband was at the house. And I told him exactly what he did was the A word, you know, and he was mad, and he said, don't you say that word, because you are going to get me fired. Apparently, if I use that word and tell anyone at all that knows him, that's going to ruin his career. So I should not be talking about it, because all he did was a warning tap. So he's basically trying to make it seem like it wasn't a big deal when it really was.
Get ready with me to go out after I just found out that I was cheated on for half of my relationship. The other day I had a girl add me on Snap, very, very pretty girl, very sweet. And she's like, hey, do you know blank? And I was like, yeah, girl, that's my boyfriend, actually. That's actually my boyfriend. And she's like, oh, well, I actually just slept with him, actually. And so I was like, oh, you did. So how often do y'all sleep together? Like once or twice a month for the past 4 months. What? I text him like, hey girl, call me right now, like right now. And he refuses to call me because he doesn't want confrontation. But also, okay, let me explain how like she knows that he has a girlfriend. Also, let me put a quick side note. We did break up a lot. Like, we were on and off a lot. But most of the dates that, like, they had, you know, done a little tickling, we were together. We were very much together. Okay, I look so pale because I just put concealer all over my face. But I know that I'm, like, joking around and shit. Like, ugh, like, oh my god, this happened. Bitch ain't shit funny. Like, ain't shit funny. Like, I was distraught when I found out. Like, I don't think I've ever been so sick in my life. Okay, so basically, sorry, this is kind of all over the place. She saw, like, they were doing the, you know, tickle dance, and she saw that I was blowing up his phone because we are broken up now, but, like, I was still, like, we still talked, so, like, I was blowing up his phone, so I was like, random parking lot, what are you doing? Well, he, you know, so I was thinking he was just doing that, with his friends, and that's what he told me he was doing, so I was like, okay, whatever. Boy, was I wrong. Mind you, my name starts popping up on fucking his phone, and so she's like, who is Caitlin? And he was like, that's my sister. What? I'm your sister? So that would be pretty weird to be doing the things that we've done with your sister. That's a little weird, boy. But Anyway, so she doesn't believe it, obviously, because who the hell would believe that? And because why would your sister be spam calling you like that? Like, when I tell you, I'll call 20 times. I don't care. I'll call till you answer. And he stepped out of the car to talk to his sister, aka me, and was like, hey, I'm just with so-and-so. We're just like, you know. And so I was like, okay, like, didn't think twice, because why would you answer the phone if you're with a girl? And so I'm not thinking twice about it, right? So, she saw my name and everything, and after she went to his Instagram and found me and his following, and she was like, oh my god, this looks scary on camera. She was like, I guess got my snap, and texted me. That's where I told y'all already. So we like end up talking a lot, like, cause I'm not a blame the girl person unless like I know the girl knew. Like, then girl, I'll blame you. Like, I'm not a girl's girl at that point. But like, if they didn't know and he never posted me, which was a huge argument all the time, like, so I kind of like wasn't surprised that she didn't know. And then but like she reached out and everything, and she told me so much, like probably more than I should have known, but like I was distraught. Like, so many of the things that like we did together that I would have thought like he wouldn't do with anyone else, like he was doing with this. Like, I remember him telling me that he had a haircut appointment and that his like haircut person, whatever, Alexa, skip. Like, that is not the song I need right now. He told me that his like, the guy who was cutting his hair was taking forever. Actually he was just, you know, bending it over in the parking lot, and found out later. Yeah. So anyway, enough about his lame self. This is about me. I'm going out and I'm taking pictures and I'm looking cute, because the fuck? I'm gonna be honest, like, I seem like I don't care right now, but I definitely, like, I do. It's definitely hitting me. I'm trying to distract myself right now, but like this morning and like yesterday and like the day before, like, oh my god, because even though we were broken up, like, hearing that now, like, it still hurts. Like, 8 months we were together. 4 out of 8 months we were together, he had been sleeping with a girl the entire time. Like, oh, like, I'm just like, I'm shocked, honestly. How did you not get caught? Because I'm crazy and I have his location, like, and so many times he was like telling me like, you're so insecure, blah 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 blah, because I had caught him texting other girls. I thought he stopped. Clearly he was doing a lot more than texting, but yeah, so I was wrong. Honestly though, as much as this situation has like hurt me so much, and like just I constantly am like asking God, like, why did I have to go through that? Why couldn't it just be like, I already got cheated on? Like, I didn't think that he had to do that with another girl. Like, what was the lesson? Like, but honestly, I think it's because God knew I wasn't leaving him alone. Like, I always go back to him, like, all the time, through everything. But the minute that you like touch another girl, like, you will never see my face again. Like, anyway, talking about this shit is really fucking pissing me off, putting me in a bad mood. So I'll come back when I'm ready to do my hair. Okay guys, I forgot to film, but this is the fit, looking cute. I'll update y'all.
Let him go. Let him go. You have been sad over him for quite some time now.
Don't ever allow someone to take your love from you. It's not theirs to take. That guy or girl is not your only source of love. Love is within you, and it's always yours.
So I get home from the hospital, and I do what any sane woman would do. I make myself a margarita. I go out into the garden and push the wheelbarrow into our bedroom. And then I just start loading it with his shit. And then I wheel it out to the front, one-handed mind, because I've still got my margarita in the other. Priorities. So I wheel his stuff out to the front, and I literally air his dirty laundry all up and down my road. My neighbours had a field day. I reach the back of his first wardrobe, and sitting there, all smug and tucked away like it had nothing to hide, was an A4 brown envelope. Now I was curious, of course, but this wasn't my property. So I put it in the wheelbarrow and wheeled it out to the front. Like fuck I did. I dived into that envelope quicker than a Love Island contestant into a brand deal. And what I found inside were 2 plane tickets to Costa Rica. One in her name and one in his name. A romantic little getaway, was it? I was just about to tear these plane tickets in half when something caught my eye. My heart actually stopped. I recognised those last 4 digits. They were from the account that I had opened for my inheritance money. The savings that my gran left me when she passed. The money that I'd had sitting in this account for years untouched. I thought the money was locked away safely, with the bank card in our home safe, which clearly isn't very bloody safe. So I took a deep breath, and I called my neighbour Janine, because her son is a solicitor. And if anybody was going to help me out of this situation, it would be him. Within 48 hours, Janine's son had filed the right forms, contacted the travel company, and got the tickets refunded back into my inheritance bank account. He helped me freeze the account, reclaim the stolen money, and most importantly, he drafted a beautifully worded letter threatening legal action for fraud. That letter is currently sitting in both of their inboxes. Oh, and I made sure to copy in his work email too. Oops. And as for me, I got back in the kitchen and I baked. I baked a banana bread for my neighbour and her son to say thank you. And I took it over there, and you know what she said to me? She said, "This is the best banana bread I have ever tasted." Well, it is a killer recipe.
I'ma be up in the club, doing whatever I like. I'ma be popping that bubbly, cooling and living that good life. Oh, let's make this last forever. Party ever, chill together. On and 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 on. I'ma be rocking like this. Yo, that's so fucking
Am I the asshole for how I reacted when my niece announced that she was engaged? I have an 11-year age gap with my brother. He had a child at 25, which means I became an aunt at 14 years old. Because we were pretty close in age, I formed a really close and special bond with my niece, who is now 18 years old. When she was 16 years old, my brother and his family moved away. So I've definitely been seeing them a lot less recently, but we still keep in touch and we catch up at family events. Last year at Christmas, my niece told me that she had a boyfriend and told me a little bit about him, but I didn't know him. He was invited for Easter and a couple other family events, but he was never able to make it. When we were planning my mom's birthday, my brother decided to invite Ella's boyfriend so that we could all meet him finally. Yesterday was the birthday, and I was really excited to meet Mark, Ella's boyfriend, but I was really confused when she walked in with a man that looked double her age. Spoiler alert, he is. She introduced him to me and I politely just smiled, but I was deeply concerned. So I went to my brother to ask how old Mark was, and he told me that Mark is 36, so literally double Ella's age. She told me that he was a little bit older, but I assumed like mid to late 20s, not almost in his 40s. And then that's when they called us into the living room to share some news, and that's when Ella pulled out a ring and showed us and said that they were engaged.
Oh, cause I thought a bitch who mama don't know she gay still think her girlfriends are her best friends said something.
I don't know if we all saw that video of the Dunkin' employee being like kind of rude to Marina, but it rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm with Ariana and we're gonna try a new coffee place because I need to branch out. So wish me luck. It's very windy. I got a vanilla matcha with vanilla cold foam. There's a little graininess on the bottom of it. It's pretty good. Tastes like ice cream.
I got a regular chai latte with vanilla and a caramel drizzle and a banana nut loaf. You can see I have already drank some of it because it is oh so delicious.
Her drink is way better than mine. It's so good. I give it like a overall, the vibes in the drink, I think I'll give it a 9 out of 10. This is giving like a 7 out of 10.
Personally, banana nut loaf, delicious. Drink, also delicious. My brain, my taste buds did that. And the ambiance, the atmosphere, also a 10. Very quiet. I don't know if we came in at like a slower time, but very quiet, very tranquil. Thank you. It says Dolly. Walmart, don't support them, but you know.
I was gonna get a coffee, but I've already had one today and a Red Bull, so I decided to put my health first. Love you.
So I don't think men like sweet perfumes. I've been on enough first dates lately where I think I've formed a mini focus group at this point. I want to tell you why and give you some examples. Starting off, this is Flower Bomb by Viktor and Rolf. I've had this guy for a long time. Actually started giving me migraines, so I phased him out, but I never got a single compliment from a man on Flower Bomb for the years that I wore it. That's okay because I think I'm over it now as well. Keep in mind, we're not just doing all of this to smell good for men, and I'm gonna make that point in just a second. This is my personal favorite daily perfume right now, like during the day perfume. This is Vanilla Woods by the 7 Virtues. It smells like baking vanilla to me. It's like love smelling this in my space. That's why I love having it on me as I like work or like go out in the world during the day. It's definitely on the like sweet gourmand side. I don't know perfume terminology that well, so please correct me if I say anything wrong. This guy is I Want You by Jimmy Choo. Backstory here is that I was shopping in a perfume store with my ex, Amber Alert, and we were picking out each other's new scents. It pulled me away from the more sweet scents and directed me to these elevated scents. I actually love the way these smell as well. I think I just got so used to smelling like vanilla that I kind of forgot that there was a whole other world of perfume out there. I picked this one out with the lady behind the counter as well, and actually as I was trying it on, someone walked in the door and was like, I am obsessed with this scent. I get so many compliments, so I pulled the trigger on it. Let me tell you, I have never gotten more male compliments in my life than when I am wearing this perfume. I wear it on every first date. I wear it out in the nighttime now. I think that men love the visual that they get from this smell. I feel like this smell is classy, older, successful woman that's sipping on her martini in a dim lit bar. I think it works for me based on the compliments that I get from men. In summary, I like to smell good for me as well, and I like both of these scents. When I am just like enjoying Nicole time and out in the world, I use my gourmand like vanilla scent, but for my first dates, y'all, I'm wearing Jimmy Choo. What do y'all think? Do men like sweet scents? Do they even notice? Do they actually care? Is it entirely subliminal? And what are y'all wearing on your first dates?
I'm going on my honeymoon without my husband, and I think we're gonna get divorced because of it. My husband has always been extremely close to his little sister. And at first, I thought this was really sweet, until it started becoming that anytime she needed anything at all, our plans would get canceled. One time, she literally needed a ride to the airport, so he canceled our anniversary dinner. Like, can she not Uber? Even though his little sister is married and fully has her own husband, it seems like she still calls on my husband to do any favor. Any fix around the house, my husband's doing it, not hers. Me and my husband got married last week, and what do you know? His little sister went into labor during our reception. I can't be mad about it. That's not her fault, obviously. But we did have to end the reception early, and we all went to the hospital to be there for her and to support her. Everything went great, and the baby is healthy and happy, and his little sister is already home. Now, me and my husband are supposed to leave for our honeymoon in 2 days. But yesterday, he comes to me and tells me that we can't go anymore. I thought he was kidding at first, so I started laughing, but he was not laughing. And he told me that his little sister called him and said that she really needed him to come stay at her house with her and her husband and help take care of the new baby for a little bit. And I'm so confused because she's taken maternity leave, her husband's taken paternity leave, both of their parents live close by and have expressed that they're more than willing to help. So why does my husband need to go live with his little sister to help take care of her baby? And I was like, absolutely not. We had a pretty low-key wedding because we spent the majority of our budget on our honeymoon, which is super non-refundable. I mean, tell her you'll be more than happy to help out next week when we're back from our honeymoon. So even though I'm furious, I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm gonna have a great time in Greece without you. And he immediately goes really quiet and says, what do you mean, go to Greece? I'm like, you know, where we're supposed to be having our honeymoon. And he was like, no, like, you're not gonna go on the honeymoon without me. That would be so selfish of you. You need to be here in case we need you. What? He told me that because I'm family now, I need to be on call for his little sister 24/7 whenever she needs me. Listen, I'm more than happy to help her out when I'm back from Greece, which I spent so much of my own savings on, and I'm gonna enjoy. And I've never seen my husband this angry. He is screaming at me, telling me that I don't value family and that I'm being selfish and that I'm being disrespectful and not respecting his little sister, which I'm like, first of all, it was disrespectful of her to know we were going on our honeymoon and to even ask you to skip it and stay with her. But he told me, if I go, I will come back to divorce papers. And I said, okay, bet. So now my husband is at his little sister's. I'm packing for Greece, and I think I'm gonna be divorced when I've been married for less than a month. I really was thinking that I was in the right, but the more I'm sitting on the situation, the more I keep thinking that maybe I was too harsh. I don't know. I love my husband, and I don't want to get a divorce, but also I don't want to miss out on the honeymoon or lose all of our money, so I don't really know what to do.
What lesson took you the longest to unlearn? Mine was that I can't fix everybody, and I shouldn't be with people if I'm trying to fix them. I need to learn how to be supportive and actually love someone for once.
I just found out that my husband and my mother-in-law have both been stealing from my bank account. So a few years ago, I decided to get a job because my husband was the only one that was working at the time, and I really needed a vehicle so that I can take the kids to and from school. And so at the time, he did not want me to get a job. He was refusing, but apparently I convinced him because then he said that it was fine for me to get a job. Because my husband always spends his money on stupid crap, I decided that I wanted to get my own bank account. And because I was married, obviously my husband also told me that he had to be on the account just in case anything were to happen to me, then he could just have access to the funds. Obviously, I was keeping track of every dime that came into my account, every dime that I spent, and it was very weird because after a couple months, I noticed that I was missing maybe $200, and then from there went to $500, and then all of a sudden I was missing almost $1,000. I wasn't taking it out. I was very determined to save up to buy myself a car, and so I asked my husband if he knew anything about it, and he was swearing up and down that he had absolutely nothing to do with it. He was saying that I was crazy, that maybe I got the money out and completely forgot. Because I didn't want to start an argument with my husband, I just left things alone. I was trying to slowly investigate and see what the fuck was going on, because the only people that actually had access were my husband and myself. About 6 months go by, and my mother-in-law comes over to our house to have dinner, and she has a brand new car. So I questioned her, just asking, because she didn't have a job at the time. My husband was helping her with a little bit of money here and there, but not enough to where she could buy a brand new fucking car. Her answer to me was that she was working and that I just didn't know anything about it, but her son did, so I just let that shit go. But eventually, after I was done with my investigation, trying to figure out what the fuck was going on, the bank actually told me that apparently my husband had put my mother-in-law on the account somehow without me even knowing. So come to find out that my mother-in-law was withdrawing money from my account, from my money that I had saved from working 2 full-time jobs, trying to make sure that I had a car for my kiddos and myself. And she decided to take a bunch of money and go buy herself a new car. I confronted my husband first because he was the one that was responsible. He's the one that added my mother-in-law. And he said, "It's just my mom. It's fine. She'll pay you back eventually." I told him not to fucking worry about it. I said, you know what? You're just like your mother. At the end of the day, I don't want to be a part of this shit anymore because you guys fucked me over pretty bad. She took a bunch of money out of my fucking hard-earned money and my bank account. So go fuck yourself. I took my shit, I took my kids, and I fucking left, and I went to my parents' house.
I have a secret. A very dark, real, and buried secret. Buried deeper than my husband and children could ever find. You see, 6 years ago, I almost ruined my entire life. My marriage, my career, my family, all of it. I was a college teacher, married with 2 children, and on the outside I had everything, but on the inside I was empty. My marriage was cold and stale. The type of marriage where you sit across from the table to somebody and think, I haven't actually spoken to you in months. I felt invisible. And then he walked in. He was 19, a student in one of my lectures. He was charismatic, cocky and dangerous. And he had this way of looking at me, like he could look right through me, right through this version of myself. And he liked what he found. And God help me, I liked being seen. It just started as flirty banter, obviously in secret, but it wasn't anything serious. And then he would start to stay late with me. And then we exchanged numbers. And you can imagine where it went from there. The things that we did together, I have never done with my husband. Not even close. With him, I felt alive. Like this raw, untamed version of me had been hiding in the shadows for years and it had finally stepped into the light. It was intoxicating. And it turned me stupid and reckless. See, for a while, I liked the danger. I liked the secrecy. I liked living on the edge. But that's the thing about lust. It's a blinding drug. And when it wears off, all you're left with is fear, dread, and shame. I looked around me one day and saw the abyss that I was about to fall into. Everything that I loved, my kids, my marriage, my life, it was all just hanging by a thread. So I vanished. I didn't say goodbye. I didn't give him closure. I just disappeared. I quit my job. I told my husband I needed a fresh start. We moved to a new town, a new home. I got a new job and I never told my family, but I started working under my maiden name. And life slowly reset. Piece by piece, the anxiety started to ebb away. Time moved on, and 6 whole years passed without a single sign of him. It was like the universe had buried my secret right alongside me. Until last Friday. My husband and I had cleaned the house. It was spotless. Dinner was nearly ready. The candles were lit. The table was set. Our baby girl was coming home from uni for the weekend, and we couldn't have been more excited. We waited, grinning like idiots, as the doorbell rang. My husband went to answer it, and I went to flatten out the last few creases of the tablecloth. And then I heard it. I heard voices in the hallway. My husband, my daughter, and another. Another that I didn't quite recognize, but at the same time it felt overly familiar. I stepped into the hallway, and that's when I saw him, arm draped over my daughter, smiling like he'd won the damn lottery. Jake, my daughter's new boyfriend, my college student.